What is this Harley guy doing behind his bike on the ground? Why is this rest stop the worst stop in the world? What battle happened behind this rest stop? Did you know that tennis balls grew on trees? What can you do at this stop you cannot do at any of the others? 6 hours, 3 states, 4 rest stops, and this is what you get? You will never see another video like this on YouTube, so stay tuned. Last time I rolled out of my stealth spot on a volcano out of New Mexico towards Texas and Oklahoma with the goal of winding up at the Vagabond Rally at Chuck's. I started off my day rolling past the Sierra Grande volcano, only to stop at a rest stop on the other side. We're just on the other side of the Shield volcano, and there's a rest area. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And they've got little pavilions. I can cook up some coffee because now I've got access to water. And I get over here, it's like, wow, this place is a dump. I mean, look at it. It's run down. I mean, it used to be, I don't know, 40, 50 years ago, maybe it was full of splendor, but now it's a shithole. The wind was really bad this morning, and the audio turned out so bad I couldn't use it. But basically, I'm bitching up a storm about how awful this rest stop is. The water fountains don't work. The spigots outside don't work. I wasn't about to go inside and use those nasty spigots in the restroom, but I did get to use their trash can and dispose of my camp trash, so that was probably the only good thing about this stop. It was extraordinary how bad this thing was, and I think you could see some of the general attitude about some of the people that use this place. And I figured I would just take this opportunity to tell New Mexico that, man, you could do better. I mean, there's so many rest stops nowadays that I see that are closed down for maintenance, reconstruction. This thing needs to be closed. I guess they really don't want people pissing and shitting on the side of the road, which is probably why it's still open. But otherwise, it's useless, and it's a blight on the state of New Mexico. You can do better, New Mexico. No. No, 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 no. Just east of Stinnett, Texas. It's an interesting little picnic area. It's not a rest stop. I walked over here to the sign. It's also a historical marker. They got a few adobe walls back here. This is the Battle of Adobe Walls, the final battle between Kit Carson and the Army and a group of Kiowas and Comanche. I thought that was kind of interesting. Just, yeah, let's put the picnic area here. Good idea. Well, as you can obviously see the difference between a Texas road rest area and a New Mexico rest area. It's quite a profound difference. And this is just one of the little resting pavilions. Holy crap, you can actually, holy, look at this. They got a grill here. So this is more like a state park than it is a rest area, but it's got, dang, maybe a dozen of these little picnic areas. Now, if I could figure out how to hang a hammock in here. Look at that. The shape of the grill. I love that. Trash cans in each one of the thingies. It's 3 o'clock. I may have to stretch it out and make the next rest area, but I would like to see what the next one looks like. Yeah. Worst thing about this is that maybe they're a couple, 3 weeks for overdue for a grass cut. Big deal. Very well maintained, very well thought out. They spent a lot of money on this little thing. That's Texas. Welcome. You might be asking yourself right now, why am I choosing to focus on rest stops? I think it was because the dramatic difference in between the states. And I think this reflects on what the states possibly might be all about, whether they care about the people passing through, whether they care about representing themselves and how they want to represent themselves. I think it says a lot, and this is one of those stops that impressed me. So yeah, it was nice to be in Texas. It was a good rest stop. It was a good rest. Sat down, lay down on a bench, walked in, looked around. Somebody left me a free bag of chips on top of one of the machines. Grabbed me a soda. Came out here, chomped some hot Takis. But now I'm going to get back on the road. The landscape did not seem to change dramatically as I crossed the panhandle of Texas and closed on a place that I had stayed before 2 years earlier, just across the border in Oklahoma. Eric, Oklahoma. Just inside the Oklahoma border. I'm not the only one that had this bright idea. Here's the thing that's always bothered me about rest areas, at least most of the ones I've been to, or I would say maybe closer to half, have big signs that say no overnight camping, no blah blah blah, except every motherfucker in these trucks have been doing it, and every rest stop. And you don't want these motherfuckers rolling down the road for 18, 20 hours at a time. It's illegal. So they got to park somewhere. So I kind of feel like, you know, these guys get the break because they're working, and just regular travelers, well, you guys need to get a hotel. That's just, to me, that's just wrong. It's wrong. Because these people can die too. These people can take somebody else out with them. What about me? I'm pretty sure that's exactly what I said in 2020 is, man, I'm tired. I don't give a fuck. They're going to write me a ticket. They're going to, you know, put me in handcuffs. I'm tired. I'm fucking stopping. And I hung my ass in those trees, and I'm like, I want some motherfucker to come over there and tell me I can't go. I can't sleep here. I'm like, well, what do you want me to do? You want me to arrest me? Want me to die on the road? Anyway. I just got a real attitude at this rest stop 2 years ago because I guess I was kind of tired of the whole double standard. I guess. This guy's bivvied out over here. Easy peasy. Guess you can do that when you got a nice patch of grass to lay in. There goes my boy on the motorcycle. Wonder why he didn't come this way. So I wound up talking about my overnight neighbor a bit, but decided to take it out of this video for more discussion. If you are thin-skinned or easily offended, it might not be the right video for you. But if you want to talk about changing motorcycle culture, then go over and watch it and let me know your thoughts. Getting on the interstate, headed towards the Washita battlefield, and learning about some history with General Custer and his exploits out in the West. And I don't know what you guys think about Custer, but I've read enough about the guy to realize that he's just an asshole. You know, asshole from the 1800s. And it's kind of shocking because, you know, you see the stuff around South Dakota and west from there. It's just everybody worships him like a god. And I read something a few years back that it was all due to his wife, who was saddened by the fact that nobody really might remember her former husband, and wanted to push the narrative that he was some great hero. And so she wrote a book, and she did all kinds of tours and wanted to talk about her husband. So I guess we remember General Custer as not some, you know, ridiculous buffoon from history, but that he was, you know, this great hero of the West, and he did all these great things. And he just killed a bunch of Indians and got a bunch of his own troops killed too at the same time. Yeah, he was an idiot. There, I said it. If you disagree with me, let me know why. And of course, as it turns out, the battlefield itself was not that impressive. It's just a field with some creeks. And so, hills, just, there's some hiking stuff. But what was really impressive was this museum that was on the inside. And it's all free. and the park ranger was very informative, and yeah, he kind of he was in the middle as far as his opinion of Custer and all that, and I appreciate that. Just kind of, yeah, look at it from a different perspective than what we all learned as kids in school. It's probably not really the whole story. You're looking at all these tennis balls that are spread all over the place up here. I was like, wait, that's not right. That's not tennis balls. Then I realized these trees, I don't remember what these trees are, but I remember these fruits that drop. Just can't remember what the heck they are. But they look like, oh, softball size tennis balls until you pick them up. Pretty funny. Let's go take a look out at the site. I think it's a little trail. As I mentioned earlier, the site is really not that impressive. The battlefield's just some hills and a creek, and I'm sure there's some markers out there, and if you had a metal detector you might be able to find some mini balls and shell casings and who knows what else, maybe even a knife. But spend your time in the museum. It's much more impressive. And I did spend some time on Route 66, and this is pretty much what it looks like, a good part of it anyway. A lot of people make plans to go all the way across the whole route, but I don't know if I would waste my time with that. It's impressive, some of the places, some of the towns, but in general it's just a old straight country highway, so... As the sun starts going down in this part of Oklahoma, it's good to keep your eyes peeled for the varmints crossing the road, especially the big varmints like this one that almost took me out. Had I not grabbed the brakes when I did, I probably would have been telling a different story. This one almost got me, but not this time. She was probably small enough, like, I don't know, she was under 70 pounds, but I grabbed a handful of front and back, and this is how fast it happened. I grabbed a handful of front, slammed the back, and I was still holding on to my drink. And I did this a couple times because she slowed down and then she bolted. And I missed her, I don't know, a good 4 or 5 feet, but yeah. Hopefully I got it on the time lapse. We'll see. My battery died right around that time. I tried to look at it, but I'm gonna have to go frame by frame to see if it's there. But it's very close. But what I wanted to say is I forgot to start looking for the greasy spots. This part of Oklahoma is covered in deer, but usually they cross in certain spots, and you'll see the greasy spots because they get hit all the time. And you know, the carcass will get eaten eventually, but the grease kind of stays there. So, oh, check these guys out. Hey, buddies! Hey, buddies! Come here! Come here, man! Come here, man! Come here, buddy! Let's go do a doggy roundup.
Buddy! Get out of the highway! Buddy! Get over here, hurry! Come here, buddy! Get over here!
Well, after my close call and the close encounter with the man-eating dogs, I decided to take it a little bit slower, at least rolling out of town. Give me a little bit of time to forget about what just transpired in my near-death experience. And I saw these horses, and I thought, man, I think I've only been to a couple of rodeos, and this just seemed like a lot of fun. But then I started thinking, I need to get to camp. I need to find someplace. The sun's going down. I need to hang somewhere, and I need to just take this time and get on to where I'm supposed to be instead of hanging out and having fun. And that's pretty much what I did here, shortly after gawking for a few minutes at the lovely ladies mounted on their horses. As I continued to roll further east, the sun continued to go down. I don't like riding at night at all anymore because of varmints, dogs, big animals running out in front of you. It can change your life, and I just don't like dealing with it. I had to get somewhere to hang, and I was close enough to Chuck's to just keep driving on. And eventually I got to Chuck's after dark. Well, it looks like I'm the first one to the rally. Yeah, I'm at Chuck's, and yeah, Chuck's is cool, man. It's a really nice, nice camp area, campground, and the best part is it's free. Oh, look, there's some firewood in here. So Chuck's is what you're going to see next time. I hope you'll join me. I had a lot of fun at the, what is this, the third rally at Chuck's? Good time, interesting people, great place to camp. See you then. Dinner. But everybody's sitting on their bikes like there's going to be some big thing going on.
Riding out.
Riding out to
Riding
dinner.
out. Dinner.